Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode of Grey Man Operations. In today's video, I'm going to share 5 things with you that I've learned over the past year with me carrying my firearm. Guys, I think this might be a great video to watch with your sisters, female family members, wives, anyone who you think that may be interested in joining the firearm community, because we definitely need more ladies. But before we get into that, guys, if you haven't joined us on Patron as yet, for the month of February, every week we are giving away one of these TED-Attack multi-tools to our patrons. So we do a weekly giveaway and draw. At the end of this video, we'll be switching the view and doing that draw. But we give away great prizes on Patron, but it's not really just about the prizes, guys. I really think that we've built a great community. We have a group of people who really have the same focus, who want the same things, who want to protect their families, who are very supportive in the Patron community. So if you want to join that and you're watching this on YouTube, it's the first link down below in the video description. And if you're watching this on Facebook or Instagram, it's the first comment. Let's get into this video. So the first thing that really stood out for me and that I learned, I would say quickly in this journey, is that shooting is a perishable skill. Now, I did 2 courses with the guys at gunlicense.co.za. I did a one-on-one session with Anton from Concealment Training, and I also go with Ryan to the range now and then on Fridays. And I've been to the range with him quite a few times. And what I found was that for the first 2 or 3 weeks after a course or after being to the range or like your one-on-one session, you're shooting really good. I'm hitting my target, trigger control's great, I find my red dot, everything is magnificent, and I feel like the best shooter in the world. And when I neglect training, or when I have not done a course in a long time, I find that a lot of what I learned, a large percentage, kind of like goes away. It's like I lose my skill. And so it really pointed out the value of getting good training, quality training with good instructors, because they kind of help you with your base and the fundamentals and the basics of shooting correctly. And when you have that sorted and you know what to work on, you kind of you've got the good ingredients, so you can go back home and work on it. Like I found when I would go to the range with Ryan, after a while, my brain knew what it needed to do. I knew that I needed to draw my firearm, be target focused, all of that, right? But when I would do it, it's almost like I felt like my hands were fumbling over each other. I would extend my arms out completely. My shoulders were tense and tight, and all of that then affected what was happening, what landed on the target. And it can really put you in a bad space. But like I said, when you realize this fault, when you see that you're starting to lose the skill and you get back to it, you see the importance of maintaining, of harnessing the skill. The second thing that I learned throughout this year is that it does get better, and especially if you have quality and the right gear. Now, luckily for me, I obviously have Ryan, and with his guidance and all the reviews he's done and everything he's put out there, it really helped a lot of us find the correct item. So it really is a journey of discovering what works best for you. And even though Ryan could guide me, I still had concerns around carrying a firearm because I'm a woman, and he shared his view from being a man. And we have different bodies. So things like figuring out what clothing I'm going to wear, how am I going to conceal this firearm, what belt am I going to use, what holster, is the firearm that I'm carrying small enough for me to conceal? There was a lot of things I worried about that I needed to take into account, because just being a female made it feel a lot more different. Another thing that I found and discovered over this year is that it's not as daunting as it's often made out to be. I think one of the things is like the range. Initially, when we used to go to the range, I would get a fright. When the loud sounds would go off, I would literally like shake. But the more we went, the more relaxed I was in the environment. And honestly, I must say that on social media, I used to see a lot of like drama and ego, and there would be new shooters asking for advice, and it just didn't seem like people were really out there wanting to help or genuine in, in assisting and supporting. However, I found that in our Patron community, I would say in the Grey Man operations community, everyone is so supportive and so helpful and kind of just wants the best for the new shooters. They would share links of good courses coming out there, great gear. And so I definitely felt that sense of community. So the whole idea of it being daunting, I guess an example that I could make is almost like driving a car. Initially, when you don't know how to drive, you can be really anxious, or even just in the beginning of that journey. And it's something like the more you do, the more comfortable you become. So now you can drive, change gears, and listen to music where initially in the beginning you couldn't, right? And so the same thing with owning a firearm. When you get the good training, when you've got the right gear, when you go and train, when you do what's necessary, the more and more you do it, the more you become comfortable. Then you can add different things like changing your mags and putting on your weapon-mounted light. All of those things will come more naturally and easier, obviously, the more you do it. Another thing that changed this year is I definitely developed a sense of security. With owning and carrying a firearm, don't worry guys, the gun is safe and empty and will be throughout this video. Like I was saying, with owning and carrying a firearm this year, it has definitely given me that sense of security, and especially as a female, and especially more so in South Africa. And it has had knock-on effects in so many areas of my life. Being alone at home was something I was a bit anxious about. Taking an Uber, and with all these horror stories of things that are happening to women when they simply want to get from A to B, it's a nightmare. And so even running and going for walks on my own. And another thing with us possibly considering having a child and me maybe becoming a mother one day, knowing that should I be alone with our kids or our child one day, I can protect myself and our kid. And that gives me a real sense of safety and comfort. And lastly, the importance and value of dry fighting. Now, I have like a love-hate relationship with dry fighting. I love that when I actually dry fire, I see the results at the range. I find my red dot sooner, my stance is good, my trigger control is great, things work, things happen, I'm fast, I draw my firearm quicker, I'm more comfortable, I don't feel like I'm fumbling over my hands. The hate relationship is, it's boring. Now I know that some people may really enjoy the range and they like to see the visual results of their shooting. So dry fighting can be like terrible, or they may not enjoy it as much. But then on the other hand, some people might really enjoy dry fighting because you can do it in the comfort of your own home. And there are cool things like snap caps that you can invest in. There's the Strikeman laser target. We actually gave that away on Patron a few months ago, sometime last year, and we have one, and I've trained on there. I think when I first got my firearm, I was so excited. We came home and immediately I was busy with the laser target system. So that's it, guys. I hope that the things I shared has made you realize that this isn't as daunting as we make it out to be, that you do get comfortable with it in the long run, and that training is so important. Before I end this video, guys, just two things I want to share with you. One is Urban Warrior is running a sale. You get 15% discount on all of their products until the end of February, and they are running, this is their last sale before they have a price increase which is happening in March. So if you want to get in on that, we'll leave all the links down below of everything we've mentioned in the video, but the link to Urban Warrior store is www.urbanwarriorsa.com. And then lastly, let's switch the view and give away a TerraTac multi-tool to another patron.
Okay guys, so here we are with a list of our current active patrons. There are currently 293 of you. So I'm going to copy those names and then paste them into a name randomizer. This is going to randomize the order of those names and assign a number to it. So 293 randomized names. I'm then going to come back to the spreadsheet and take numbers 1 to 293 and paste that into a random wheel of names. Paste that. It takes a second to load those numbers, and I'm just going to delete the extra space at the bottom. And as you can see, there are 293 entries. I'm going to shuffle it and click to spin. This is the winner of this week's TED-Attack multi-tool. Remember, we're giving another one away next week, and then in March we're giving away a Meta SF. So that's super cool. Winner is number 112, and number 112 is going to be Brandon Rocher. So well done to you, Brandon. I'll make contact with you on Patron and get that TED-Attack multi-tool off to you.
Well done to that Patron winner. We'll be sending you your TED-Attack multi-tool within the week. Guys, if you want to get in on all these prizes, don't forget to join us on Patron. That's it, guys. Have a good week. Be safe. Train hard. Cheers. God bless.